we live? I think we're live. As far as I know, we are live. We are alive. How is everyone today? I hope everyone's doing great. Brad, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing really well. So guys, today we're going to be talking about some really interesting stuff. And today you can ask whatever question you want in the comments below. We are live right now on,
Several things.
Several things. Instagram, your Facebook, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube. Might even be on Twitter too, I think. I think we might actually be. Man, we're pushing this out everywhere. But anyways, ask a question today and you're going to get a free t-shirt by having a discussion with Brad and myself. You can ask a question about anything. Today on What's in the Box.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
So yeah, we're here. We're having a good day. We're having a good Friday. We always say Good Friday, but we don't necessarily mean the religious observance day of Good Friday unless we're actually on that day. But we're having Good Friday.
I think was I solo on Good Friday? Or was that a me and you?
I can't remember exactly. I've had a lot of things going on, so sometimes it's just Brad. Sometimes I think it's been myself. Sometimes Brad and myself. But it's always you. That's the cheesiest thing I think I've ever said today.
Jasmanian Devil 420 said, "What's in the box? Anything you want."
That's right. What's in the box? Yes, that. First of all, it's kind of a reference to our black boxes at Terminus Tees. That's actually what you saw just spinning through the air. I don't know, we're kind of known for the black boxes that we ship stuff out in. We actually get a lot of new customers simply just because of those black boxes. The amount of times that someone says, hey, I saw your boxes somewhere. I saw Brad somewhere, I saw John somewhere. But they see the boxes more often than us, so the boxes do their job better than Brad and I when it comes to that.
I took that box home. Like, I took one of our boxes home with some shirts in it the other day, and it was just like nonchalantly sitting on my couch. And, you know, I sat it down and I did other things, and then like later on that night I came out of my gaming dungeon and saw the box sitting on my couch, and my couch is like a burgundy wine color, and the box was just sitting there, and I was like, that is a good looking box.
It's a good looking box.
And we see them every day.
I know.
For years I have saw them every day, and it's still like, because it's not in its natural, you know, and this is the black box natural environment here, you know, either in production or up here, you know, on the walls or whatever. But seeing it like in my house, I'm like, this ain't even plug. It's just how I felt at the time. I just felt really proud of seeing that big old black box.
Yeah, I mean, packaging of an item really makes a big difference. A lot of us can associate the way something arrives at our house or the box that it was in when you bought it at the store.
Yeah.
I always associated a black box with quality.
Yeah.
It seems like anything that I've ever loved came in a black box.
Classic.
Except for my wife. And I love her very much. And I would love her in a black box as well. I don't think we have any human-sized black boxes yet. Notice I said yet.
No, what we used to have those big old like for the buckets down at the end of the belts. We used to have those big like fridge boxes. Remember those?
Oh yeah.
The wooden crates. We should have made like, we should get like a pallet artist to take spare pallets and make a big old black box.
Yeah, we're about. You've heard us probably talk about it if you've watched us on Fridays. We're about to buy the building next door, and we already own one building, and we're renting part of another one. But the owner left. He's like, "Hey, you want to buy the building?" We said, "Sure." So we're buying another building. So that's going to be great. However, it would make sense for us to be in a more connected building because we have a little walkway in between the two. But working out of two buildings is not as efficient as working out of one. So we were thinking in the future we could combine the two buildings. Maybe we'll see. And then the idea came up to basically build the connecting building as one of our shipping black boxes. Looks like it's wedged in between the two buildings. And I mean, we got to build a square. We have to build a rectangular block to connect them. So it makes sense. Why not just paint it jet black and put Terminus Tees on the side, and it looks like one of our boxes just landed in the middle, and then we're working. We will really be in the black box as a community. So yeah, there's something cool about that. I would love to put a solid rooftop on the top. Maybe have a picnic space or something. Maybe an amphitheater where bands can come and play, or something like that, like a venue up there. It's a dream, and dreams are possible. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of changes. You know, anything change with you recently, Brad?
No, I mean, it's Friday. We love the black boxes, and you know, last night you and I played Fortnite for a good bit, and that was fun. We played twice now together, so I'm pumped about that. We did pretty good. We finished top 5, twice?
Yeah, twice. I actually had a good time playing Fortnite. There's a lot of people don't realize how that game seems like a little kid game. Actually, that's probably why I didn't play it much when I was, I'm more the Call of Duty kind of person. But yeah, some people here at work's been playing Fortnite, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to jump in there and enjoy myself and shoot some of my employees in the face.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah, it was super fun. Definitely, I didn't start playing until this past January.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought it was a kid's game.
Does anybody else play Fortnite? Let us know about it, and maybe we'll play with you as well. Just let us know. Yeah, right now I haven't really unlocked a lot of characters, but I'm working on it. Somebody's playing with actually Derek was playing with an xenomorph from the Aliens movie the other day, and I was kind of jealous. So hopefully they come up. I would love to play as like Anton Sugar from No Country for Old Men. I think that would be a good Fortnite character. So
Star Wars updates today, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Because tomorrow's the 4th. Mm-hmm. Is that officially Star Wars Day?
I think so. I mean, apparently Fortnite has done it every year when they started doing chapters and seasons and stuff like that. So
for May the 4th, this segment is sponsored by our official sponsor. Or is official, unofficial sponsor? Official, unofficial sponsor, Quick Trip. Tell us what your favorite Star Wars movie was and why. And we're just going to give you a free t-shirt. That's probably the easiest way to get a free t-shirt is to tell us what your favorite one was. Or you can tell us your not so favorite one and why.
yeah.
I think either one of those will work. The not so favorite one will give you brownie points because it's fun. Star Wars, it's kind of fun to hate it sometimes. And by the way, I love it. I say that with all respect and endearment because I grew up on Star Wars. But just like anything, when somebody messes around with it, you kind of have a feeling about it, you know?
Well, what's your favorite one?
Of the actual Star Wars series, I would probably have to go with Empire Strikes Back. I really like Return of the Jedi. I'm going to go with Return of the Jedi because I had the most toys that weren't hand-me-down. Like where I got to choose them myself or were given to me as my birthday party. I was young enough to where... I was old enough, I think is a better way to say that. I was old enough to where all my episode 4 and 5 toys were like my cousins who were growing up too much.
Yeah.
And they gave them to me. And then so... Like I remember getting like the Jabba playset and like, all the stuff that was really focused around the Return of the Jedi movie. And that was like, to me, one of the peak parts of the Star Wars toy universe is like when they were making like, they had all the characters out for every, like there were characters if you saw in the background for like a half a second, they would make a full on character for them.
Yeah.
And probably have a full backstory that LucasArts owned the rights to every single thing you could ever see in that movie. Like planned to make a comic book about a guy who you saw blink once.
Yeah.
So, yeah. What about you?
I'm gonna episode 1.
Really? See, that's a really interesting for kids your age. The amount of people I know that love episode 1. My friend Chelsea, who's about around your age or so, she named her dog Binks after Jar Jar, and I was like, that was weird. Like how many kids at that age liked Jar Jar Binks? It was like they're like we got, I guess, R2D2 and C3PO was like our comic relief of our episodes.
Yeah, I've got one cousin named Anakin, and one cousin named Leia, and I'm not even kidding about that. That's how, all the cousins I have around my age. But yeah, episode 1, the Naboo Starfighter is the sickest ship ever created by anything. Did you ever play Rogue Squadron?
Like
on 64?
Yeah, a little bit, but I mean, well, yeah, go ahead and feature that because there's something funny about that. I have a story to tell about
Oh,
that.
it's just you could fly it in Rogue Squadron.
Yeah.
The Naboo Starfighter is so sick.
Actually, the story I was thinking about had to do with we had the pod racing game on 64.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know this. I might be incorrect. Well, first of all, like, do you remember on the Nintendo 64 how it had like this little like compartment on top of it?
Expansion pack. Yeah.
So here's a weird thing about that. I don't know if I've ever told you this story. So what happened was I can't remember if it came with the game, the podcast game. Like you bought it and it was like an expensive game and you got this little, it looked like a microchip kind of vibe thing that would go into the top and like enhance the thing. I came home and I was like, yeah, Dad, I paid like double the price for the game. And I think it was Pod Racer. But once you put the chip in and playing Pod Racer, vice versa, you could take it out too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking the clarity was noticeably different. My dad was like, my dad's an engineer, electronic engineer, radar stuff. But really in this case, he's looking at it and being like, Dad, something doesn't make sense that this little thing would do that. Like a video card. Basically, it's like a video card up thing. But if you looked at it, and there was no connecting pieces to it really. And
He just slid down in the thing.
well, what it was is he went downstairs and then he made a wooden block that he cut. It had the little like different levels and because it had, if you looked at it upside down, it looked almost like a little like mountainscape.
Yeah, all the contact points.
Yeah, the contact points. But if you looked up, there's no contact points. I mean, there's nothing about them. They were just a shape. So he made a wooden block, and then he came up and he like cut it out of wood. And he stuck it, went boop, and the game worked. And then he gave me the piece back. He said, "You should probably try to sell that." So in other words, the graphical technology was built in the machine from day one, and they knew you were going to have it for so many years. And you paid for a key to unlock level 2 level of graphics that were just always there the first time. But we never knew. Because I remember looking at that little compartment thinking, there's something, like not knowing what it was for. I actually had a little box in there, and you had something in there for the game to play, I think. But I didn't realize you had to take the old key out and put the new one in. And the new key just had an extra little prong that turned on the next level of the graphics.
Did you have a rumble pack?
I did, but was that battery powered or did it come off the controller? Because controllers are wired.
It came off the controller.
Yeah.
You stuck it in the bottom of it.
Do you ever have Game Genie? You know what that is?
Oh, I had Game Sharks.
Is that the same idea? But Game Genie used to come. It was like an adapter like cartridge that went onto to NES games, right? And so it looked like it would hang out the front of your NES when you put it in, and it was just and then you had a physical book that you have to go look up the name of your game that you're playing, and find the game, and it'll tell you like what codes and whatever to unlock like God mode or whatever. But it was like, what's weird is there was not the internet, so there wasn't like updates. You had to buy like Game Genie thing. But what was weird is you could buy Game Genie book too. So in other words, whatever you're putting in, like all games have, I guess, cheat codes built into them, and they would figure them out or find them out, and then publish out the developer like code to be able to whatever.
That is wild.
Yeah, discovery was great before the internet. It's still great now, but it's just too instant, you know?
JT Kramer _70 says, Star Wars, A New Hope. It was released on my birthday and started off the whole craze.
Yes, and I thought when I was little, there was a lot of feelings I had about the Star Wars New Hope. Number one, I thought it was really interesting. I was confused while we were watching part 4. Like when you're real, I'm talking I was real little. I was born the year after Star Wars actually came out. So my first time ever watching Star Wars was when my dad and mom lived at the Georgia Tech campus. They were married already and had me, so they're married with a kid. And I think it was around when Empire Strikes Back was coming out. And but I finally got to see the first movie release, episode 4. And yeah, I remember my mom reading me the crawl at the beginning, because I couldn't really read yet. Yeah, and it was a great experience, but I just watched it in like a room at Georgia Tech campus with their projecting it. I think somebody worked at a theater, and at nighttime they stole the reel and then brought it and played it for the kids at the school, because we didn't pay to go see it. It was just in one of the classrooms with the big sheet on the wall. So that was my first experience. I really liked Chewbacca a whole lot. That was...
The skin today.
What's that?
The skin drops today.
Yeah.
In Fortnite.
So today in Fortnite, you can look like Chewbacca. You can look hairy. You can have those cute Chewbacca teeth. So only in Fortnite you can look like that.
Only in Fortnite. Yeah. What's your least favorite Star Wars?
Least favorite Star Wars. And by the way, if you're just joining us, we're talking in celebration of tomorrow is May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you on May the 3rd. Whatever. Yeah, so we're talking about just Star Wars stuff, about our favorite movie and why. And now one of the questions is we're into what is our least favorite movie and why? Least favorite movie and why would be is it episode 8? Yeah, I had, I felt hurt about that one. I really did. I was like, what's happening? Why is it happening? I didn't mind the J.J. Abrams on the episode 7. Some people will be like, they just didn't want anybody to mess with their Star Wars. Even the older guys, older people, we were all like, hey, you already messed with it once with episode 1, 2, and 3. But it's all fine, except for 7. No, I mean, except for 8. I've always said you don't. It's just the way it goes down. It's like the way the heroes that we grew up on ended out playing out. Because I think you killed off all the favorite characters in the last 3 episodes. So I think a lot of people have a problem with that. I told I think Drew or somebody the other day that I did have a problem with episode 7 with the way Han Solo died. I know people got to die, but you don't throw heroes down an infinite void. You only throw villains down voids. Han did not get a proper burial. Luke evaporated, and Leia floated around like Mary Poppins and then just died.
Leia was the worst thing I've ever seen. Han is the way that is stupid. Luke's I don't have a problem with. That's the only one that I don't really.
Yeah, like, and also there's stuff you could do with Luke, right? I think they did do that. He becomes like now Ben Kenobi. I mean, that's the way Ben Kenobi died. He evaporated, technically. I'm fine with that. But Carrie Fisher deserved better than that. I don't think
they filmed it too is just.
I don't think anybody in the theater when that happened, like, it felt like they were trying to get the crowd to stand up and do the clapping, screaming moment. We're like, oh my God. And I think everybody was like, no. Mary Poppins. Yeah, Mary Poppins was not a Jedi, if you didn't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think episode 8 is. Yeah. And I don't know, not even. And I like anything. I really do. I can really try to like a lot of stuff, but
a lot of people don't realize how much. Well, everybody thinks of merchandising with Star Wars as the toys, but people don't realize how much that whole scene did with the T-shirt industry. Like, if you really think about, like, that made fanware, like, it was the pinnacle at that point of fanware. You know what I mean? Because it was not common. You have to think, the reason we talk about iron-on T-shirts in the 70s and stuff is because that's what you did, especially if you just needed a shirt for something, a few shirts for something. People were making screens with X-Acto knives, and, it was not a go burn the screen real quick kind of thing. It's like shooting photography. So the technology of making screens for screen printing is way different, especially digital. We don't, just like anything, I mean, for them to have screen printed merchandise and all the shirts that were official Star Wars shirts back then, that means they were doing it. They were in there and being like, it doesn't matter. I want a raglan tee with every color of the rainbow on it. I mean, the fact that the merchandise that came out that was wearable was probably, and I don't have this as a fact, but probably one of the pinnacle of that happening at time. I can't think of any other reason that, like, you see stories about people doing bootleg shirts in the middle of parking lots for bands and stuff like that. I think band merch existed, but not like that. Like I know kids wear sport shirts and just weird little sayings on shirts like they do now, but it was a lot more effort to put out a shirt like a clothing line. No one had their Etsy clothing line and Shopify sites, obviously, right? So, but for Star Wars, they had the big bucks behind them. They went all out and made some merch, is what they did. So, Rise of Skywalker and Last Jedi are equally bad. Yeah, Rise of Skywalker are really strange. There's some things in there that I was like, man, if they would have just done a little differently, you know?
Is that episode 8 or 9?
That would be 9.
Oh.
And Rise of Skywalker, Last Jedi is episode 8.
Oh, that's 8?
Yeah, The Force Awakens is episode 7.
Yes.
So, yeah, the whole. I honestly, I mean, this is the last stuff. I thought that Rey was going to be a Kenobi the whole time, and I have a reason for thinking that. Not a good one, but to me it makes a little bit of sense, a little Easter egg kind of thing. Daisy Ridley was using more like I forgot the original Obi-Wan, the old Obi-Wan. Do you remember his name, Drew? Alec Guinness's accent, which is what Ewan McGregor was emulated. If you listen to Rey's accent, sounded more like it came from that kind of, like wherever planet that English accent was from. Yeah. Some think they were from England. I think that hadn't existed yet. But maybe that's where the English accent came from, was Alec Guinness in Star Wars as Obi-Wan. But Daisy Ridley's real accent doesn't sound like that. Secondary thing is, and she can do an American accent, like she can do that. So you gave her an English accent that has the intonation, or whatever you want to go, the accent of Alex Guinness and Obi-Wan. Clue number 1. Number 2, Finn, the guy who plays him, is English as well, but they gave him an American accent. Yeah. So you have two English. Do you see where I'm going with this? You have two English people. So why do you need her to talk that way with an English accent, with a British accent? I mean.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? That's one. That's the only reason I have. There's no lore reason other than.
Well, and Obi-Wan chilled for like what? Dozens of years?
Yes. And then he lied to Luke.
Yeah.
That was the pretty weird thing, is as a young audience you felt betrayed, because usually good guys don't lie in archetypal stories. So that's actually a very unique part, I think, of Star Wars for me, was that the whole time. Well, he was like not telling the full truth.
Yeah.
Because he's like, Darth Vader killed your father.
Lying by omission.
Yeah.
But I don't think they have written that in. I don't think
Right.
had that part of the story down.
Have you ever heard?
It wasn't lying technically because it wasn't part of the story.
That's true.
I
But
thought that
right.
It had to fold into the story somehow.
Yeah. So the effect was the writing made it so a hero had to lie.
Yeah.
It ended up being that way. But one thing I actually heard, and was that during the scene, I think the original script said that Obi-Wan had killed your father. Darth Vader said his reveal to Luke. So if you go back and only listen to what Luke says out of context, he's like, no, it's not true. Not, no, you're not my father. A lot of people, that's one of those, almost like, almost said the Morgan Freeman effect.
Nelson Mandela effect?
Yeah. The Morgan Freeman effect is where everything said with his voice sounds like wisdom. No, the Nesman, like, a lot of people think that he said, you're not my father, but it was like, no, it's not true. It can't be, or something like that. Whatever.
That's impossible.
That's impossible. Yeah, so whatever, like he said, they said, we don't know what he's going to say. Apparently, something like that. Hey, Mark Hamill, we don't know what the end thing's going to be. Just say no, it's impossible. And then when What's-His-Face did the overdub, it said, I am your father. Instead of, I think Obi-Wan killed your father was the original written, but they made, that's when they made the decision to flip it on everybody. Which, I didn't get to experience this. I learned from my uncles talking about it on the side, but I imagine if you can remember hearing that for the first time, like that was probably one of the greatest movie reveals.
Yeah.
Besides The Sixth Sense. By the way, I watched people watching The Sixth Sense for the first time reactions the other night, and it was heartbreaking. I forgot how good that dang movie was.
Yeah, it's really good.
And how many people were affected by it. But yeah, what did we say there? The continuity of those last two movies were not aligned with the original films. I agree. Yeah, you gotta keep it to where you see the same thing across the series. You know, we pride ourselves in, you know, doing our best with continuity within the studio. Once you see one thing and the camera comes back, you feel like you're seeing the same thing. You know, it's keeping things continuous is important.
Yeah, it would be dishonest not to.
Yeah, you want to make sure from shot to shot, from movie to movie, Star Wars, you should have stayed continuous.
Yeah.
I agree with you. We need to send our friend JT Kramer there an awesome T-shirt. We're gonna do that. We're gonna send you a message. We're gonna give him a free T-shirt for talking to us today. So yeah, if anybody else has any compliments they want to give Brad today, we'll take those. No, any things you want to talk about? Criticisms. Yeah. Let's see. What else is there to go over? I mean, Star Wars is the biggest thing going on this weekend.
It really is.
AMC showing, I think, all the movies in different theaters throughout the weekend or something like that.
Really?
I saw there's a big Star Wars event going on at AMC theaters, so that's happening. So, yeah, so participate in that. Maybe watch all the movies this weekend, everybody, if you can. If you don't like Star Wars, it might be a good time to start, you know?
Are you guys upset that we cannot watch the original theatrical versions of the original Star Wars movies? It's only special editions.
Like where they added CG effects and stuff like
Yeah,
that?
that's all you can watch.
Yeah, there's some stuff with Jabba. You know what? That makes sense. I think that's a good way to tell how I know that the Return of the Jedi was one of my favorite, because when they showed Jabba ever in the special editions, it was so far different than what the Jabba you would see. You know?
Because didn't like Jim Henson make all those puppets?
Yeah, I mean,
No, it was a different.
Well,
it may have been some of the same people. Like
was it not his studio? Oh yeah, I get kind of confused on that. I always think that he did Star Wars creatures, but he
Well,
did.
there's Frank Oz too, who's involved too.
That's what it is.
Co-created the Muppets.
So Yoda and Gonzo and all those voices, are they all him?
He didn't do the voice of Gonzo, but he did the voice of Miss Piggy and Fozzie.
And Chamberlain from the Dark Crystal.
Yeah, he was.
Wilt Chamberlain?
Well, not Will Chamberlain. So, he said, "What the f is that noise?" I don't know. What are you hearing exactly? That's what helps us, because
We can't hear it, obviously.
yeah, we were just. It sounds like
Oh, weird. There is a weird beat.
we have technical difficulties with the weird beat going on. Well, we're gonna
We're
figure it
trying
out.
to figure it out, y'all.
Talk amongst yourselves.
A
A constant siren sound.
I mean, there's.
I wonder how long that's been going on.
Okay, it's gone.
It's gone now.
Sorry, y'all.
Thank
Still
you.
figuring this out.
Look, Josh, we're going to send you a message saying you get a free T-shirt. Well, because you help make the show better, we're going to give you a free T-shirts just for that reason alone. How long was that going on for?
Well, I think Mr. JT said feedback, but I thought he might have meant feedback as to his question about Star Wars.
Really? Yeah, that's funny as crap. So JT, the reason we went on about Star Wars is because you said feedback. We're like,
and I was like, oh, he wants feedback for his question about Star Wars. We'll give him that.
Man.
And we did.
Well, that means a lot. Thank you guys for making life better for us, because we should probably get some kind of, headsets on so we can hear what's going on.
That is hilarious that he said it sounds like someone took the ground lift off the DI box.
I thought that was some cool hip hop slang.
No, because I've told you like my house isn't grounded.
Yeah.
I have to do that. Like I have to get a ground lifter and do the reverse of what he said to cancel the hum.
Cancel the hum.
Yeah.
Yes, Josh. We have a policy here. If you engage with us, we're just giving away free T-shirts when we want to, when people engage with us. So telling us that we sound terrible is engaging, and helped us fix the terribleness to make it not so siren-y. I mean, actually, that was an alarm that was letting us know tomorrow is May the 4th.
Yep.
That was the May the 4th siren.
Well, I mean, what? So the first day of May was Wednesday,
Yeah.
So the Wednesday siren.
That catches me off guard. I know what it is, but that second when we have a siren that goes off here, not at Terminus, but it's like, is it a tornado siren or something?
It's just the first Wednesday national weather or national
emergency.
Yeah, national emergency broadcast.
It feels, every time it goes off, I have a very like dystopian vibe about it. Like the like in Red Dawn, like dudes are gonna start parachuting in and take over the T-shirt facility. So, yeah, the communists are coming. And I start having the Red Scare. I think that's the Red. Is the Red Scare about communism or about when bacteria gets in your oysters?
No, you're thinking of Red Tide. But,
I was eating oysters the other day and had the Red Scare.
I hate seafood so much.
I like raw oysters. I like seafood. It's totally fine. You can tell when it's lunchtime. Brad and I will start veering into the food talks.
I'm about to eat a lot of pizza today.
Pizza.
There's a good pizza place down the road.
Which one?
Little Rosas?
Is that the all-you-can-eat place or something?
No, it's Saporitos.
Saporitos?
Down the road on 14.
What about Alpine Bakery?
I've never had Alpine pizza, dude.
Dude, people will swear by Alpine pizza. I don't know if it's a per slice or you get the whole thing.
Me and Tim have been saying that we're going to go get Alpine pizza for, I don't know, I've known Tim since 8 years. And we've never went and done it, like, ever.
It's
What?
very good.
It is good?
Why don't we do Alpine pizza? I'll grab some.
And you can do it by the slice too. So if you
That's what I was wondering. I didn't know if it was only sliced or can you get a full pizza
yeah,
there?
you can all of it and calzones. But it's very good.
And you like it. That's good.
I love it.
Yeah, we have a little bakery right around the corner from the shop called Alpine Bakery. And it's interesting, it's more like a warehouse on the side of the road. We're a warehouse, but we're not really on the side of the road. We're in a industrial park.
Yeah, it's legitimately like this.
Yeah, but this is
outside.
actually on the main road. It actually kind of looks like a car mechanic shop kind of thing, but apparently they have pizzas and scones and
The
croissant.
The blueberry cheesecake, nuts. The cookies and cream cake, nuts. The German chocolate cake, nuts. It's just so good.
Wait, they come with nuts?
Yeah, no. But German chocolate does, but
Nuts.
that's so like, have you never had it before?
I mean, okay, so growing up, my aunt and my mom would make German chocolate cake, but it was like, but then I've had what
I've been
someone's...
Alpine.
No, never had Alpine. But
Really?
German chocolate cake, I think it was just like a fudge cake my parents would make. It was literally, white cake with like the kind of fudge you would get in Blue Ridge from the fudge places.
Oh no.
You know what I'm talking about? Just straight up the block of fudge, but it felt like a cake just covered in that.
But like yellow cake for
It's
a German
plain cake,
chocolate cake?
yeah.
Weird.
They were like, yeah, this is a German chocolate cake. And I'm like, that's a fudge covered cake.
That's a cake made with chocolate from Germany.
Yeah.
No,
So-
German chocolate cake's one of my favoriteest things in the world. Like caramel, chocolate, nuts, coconut.
I'm surprised you like coconut.
I love
I
coconut.
thought you were picky about a lot of things.
I am, but coconut's one of those things give me almond joys
Yeah.
and there will be none left. Like none.
I mean, they're good.
So good. My girlfriend doesn't like coconut. She says it's got a weird texture. I stopped liking hot dogs recently.
Really? What's that?
Dude, I thought about eating them and they made me sick. The last couple times I've eaten hot dogs, I just haven't felt great afterward.
I can
And-
agree with that.
And now it's like, I think about them like, we were gonna make spaghetti the other night and then we just nah, let's do hot dogs. And then when I got home, like, I smelled the hot dogs and I was like, I'm not doing
But
it.
spaghetti with hot dogs in it.
What?
Spaghetti with hot dogs.
Oh, like Jollibee spaghetti?
Yeah, like SpaghettiOs with wieners.
I do like SpaghettiOs though.
Yeah,
That shirt that we printed, the SpaghettiOs.
spaghetti.
SpaghettiOs. That's
Too much Captain Morgan. Can't do coconut anymore. I mean, I love Captain Morgan. That's my favorite kind of thing.
I like Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow. I like Captain and Captain. That's my two favorite.
Captain and Tennille.
No, that's Captain Crunch with Captain
Oh my God.
Morgan on top for breakfast.
You. It'll cut your mouth, but you won't be able to feel it.
Yeah, it's the real pirate's way of the Captain and Captain. They should make a drink called that. It's just Captain Morgan drink with a crusted rim, like a salted rim, but of Captain Crunch dust.
Because it's a pretty salty cereal.
It is. The dust at the bottom of the cereal.
Dude, I bought Sweetos yesterday.
Is that another pillowcase full of cereal?
No, it's sweet Cheetos.
Oh, I thought, you know what I'm talking about at the grocery store where you buy. Yeah. I always think about, man, yeah, if you didn't have a pillow, you could always use a thing of like store-bought value
Sugar Puffs.
sugar puffs.
I think a lot of those Malto-Meal cereals are better than the name brand.
I've heard you say that before.
Yeah, they are.
Yep. Yeah, so there's
Pillow cereal.
pillow cereal, Captain Crunch, Captain Morgan, a lot of good stuff going on.
How sticky do you think you would get if you jumped into a big old vat of cereal?
See, for some reason in my brain, I don't really process as it being like super sticky. I don't know why. But I do know this is like, if you eat too much cereal, your mouth just feels gross for the whole day.
It's oil.
Yeah. It's like,
So much oil.
like you're like, I wish I hadn't done that.
Mountain Dew does that to me too,
Really?
because of the hydrogenated vegetable oil.
Really? I didn't know that was in there. You think it's in the Diet Mountain Dew?
Oh yeah. All Mountain Dew is pretty much orange juice and hydrogenated vegetable oil.
Well, now you know something. That's what's going on over there, the Pepsi Corp. We definitely need to get a sponsorship by Grape Co from Buffalo Rock, Dothan, Alabama. I'm gonna give them a call.
Yeah, I bet they would.
I'm gonna do it.
They're like,
You guys,
people from not here know about us.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I've had a fun time today. I know it's getting about time, but yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff going on. We're gonna get some free shirts out for everybody who talked to us today. Thank you so much. And then also check out our website because we have the ability now to print one-off T-shirts.
Everything.
Anything
Literally
you want.
everything.
You want one of something, we can do it for you. You want 1 million of something, we can do it for you. But yeah, we want to see you guys be creative and make sure you guys, print what you think you want to see and use it as a way to express yourself and all the good stuff. No, it's a great way to, get a shirt that you want to wear. I'm really big on seeing what it would be like if people start creating the shirts they want to wear versus going to a big chain department store, the mall, whatever, and buying what they have already pre-planned for you and everyone else in the world. Start creating your own T-shirts one at a time, and we can do that for you.
Yeah.
And I do it all the time, actually. So, yeah, we would love it if you guys had fun doing that, and let us know what you think about that, because we're going to be sharpening and growing that part of our business more and more and more. Anyways, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. Until next week, and going to watch some Star Wars this weekend. Thanks for hanging out with us today in this episode of What's in the Box.